Hello everyone, I'm Sarah from Inkno. In this video today, we're going to go over how you can design a quiz game in PowerPoint to make your class more interactive and engaging. There are actually quite a few different ways to make your slides more engaging for your students. Today, we're going to introduce a brand new way, which is creating a quiz game. So, to do this quiz game in PowerPoint, we're going to go over two different methods. The first is in PowerPoint using navigation links, and the second also in PowerPoint but using ClassPoint, a free interactive teaching add-in that allows teachers to receive those live student responses. So let's go through method number one, which is adding in those navigation links to your PowerPoint slides. So I have a continent quiz game pulled up here, which just consists of 3 different multiple choice questions along with my correct slide and incorrect slide. So the idea here is for students to choose an answer to this question and then have them be directed to the correct slide or the incorrect slide so that they can either move on to the next question or go back and redo that same question. So to do this, what we can do is start on this first slide, and I'm going to highlight the correct answer for this question and go up to the Insert tab and click on Link. And here I'm going to want to link it to the correct answer slide, which is number 3 right here. So I can just click OK. And in the same way, we can do this for our incorrect answers, except this time we are going to link it to the last slide. That tells them you have it wrong. So we can just click OK and do it for every wrong answer that is on the slide. Once all of your options are linked, they will be highlighted and you can move on to the next step, which is adding in a navigation link on that incorrect slide. So here I have some text for them to go back, and we can highlight this, and instead of linking this one, we're actually going to click on the action icon. And here we can click hyperlink to the last slide viewed. So we can just hit OK, and then it will take them back to the slide that they viewed so they can redo the question. We don't have to do anything on the correct slide because they have it correct, so they can just move on to the next question. So make sure you have this correct answer slide in between every question. So to do that, you can just duplicate it and move it in between the questions. So now that this first question is done, let's test it out in presentation mode. So here, what is Earth's largest continent? I can click A, and it tells me, okay, I have it wrong. I can click go back, and this time I will click on Asia, and it tells me, okay, great, I got it right, and I can just click on the arrow or the space bar to move on to the next question. So this method is pretty easy to grasp. However, it can be a bit time-consuming adding in all of those links throughout your quiz game, especially if it's pretty lengthy. You can run this quiz with your students, except you're not able to collect any of their responses and personally assess them. Which leads us to method number 2, which is using ClassPoint. With ClassPoint, you can create that exact same quiz game that we've just created with only a few clicks, and you can gain some powerful insights about your students. So let's check out this method. For method number 2, we're going to use the exact same slide deck that we did for method number 1. Except this time, to create our quiz game, we're going to be using ClassPoint. So we can add a multiple choice button on the slide and select the correct number of choices and the correct answer. For more in-depth view on creating interactive slides with ClassPoint, you can check out the video that's linked in the description below. So our next step is to set competition mode, and you'll see that a trophy icon has appeared on our question button. So this means that students will be scored and ranked depending on their answers to this question. Further down on our question panel, we have our play options. So I'm just going to set a countdown of 30 seconds to create a little bit of urgency for my students. And that is all the setup that you guys need to do for one of your questions in your quiz game. So I'm going to go through the same process very quickly to do the other 2 questions. Once your questions are all ready to go, you can begin your quiz game. So we can start our presentation, and you see that I have 15 students joined here for this quiz today. So when we get to our first question, I can click on the button to begin receiving responses from my students. I can minimize this window to hide the responses, and I can see that the yellow question button that tells me the number of students who have submitted their answer and the countdown timer. When the countdown is completed, the window will appear with a bar graph distribution of how the students have answered this question. You guys can show them the correct answer, and you'll see a number of students and the percentage of students that have chosen which answer. You can also check out the leaderboard. So this leaderboard is scored depending on how fast students have answered their question and if it was the correct answer or not. So every question is an opportunity for students to move up in the ranking. They just have to be correct and speedy. So we'll go through our other two questions very quickly here. And once you have completed your whole quiz game, you can view the final leaderboard. And in addition, you can insert this as a slide so that you can always go back and view this leaderboard even after the competition is over. So then we can go back out into our edit mode. In addition to seeing the leaderboard results as a slide, you can also click on the leaderboard icon in the review tab of ClassPoint to view the same thing. In addition, you can click on the Show Table for complete comprehensive analysis of how your students did in your quiz game. You can sort this table by the student's name so that it's easier for you to view the results by student. If you guys want to export this data outside of PowerPoint, you can do so here as a CSV. ClassPoint allows you to receive those live student responses in a more gamified way. There are so many other features of ClassPoint to help you engage your students during class, like annotating on your slides, adding in whiteboards, and there are also many different interactive quiz question types. So you guys can check it out and download ClassPoint at classpoint.io. Thank you for watching.